Unity or death. Unity or death. And that is the topic that we're going to discuss on tonight. And of course, you know that we are talking about the unity of an oppressed people that need desperately to unify. Over the years, our community, the black community, has taken significant losses. Even as we've been told about gains, about progress, we've been told about a new era in American politics and in the American social structure, but basically things have remained the same. Now there's a man, an Idaho teacher, who is under charges because they fed a puppy to a turtle and killed the puppy. But yet, if a black life is taken by this system, nobody faces charges. Now, we can sit here and accept what the system gives us as black people, or we can come together as a community and get whatever we desire as a people. The unity of our people is absolutely essential to us getting to where we need to be and saving the generations of our young people that need to be saved. Because we have been disunified, we have been easy pickings for our enemies who delight in mistreating us. Now, these enemies come in the form of false education, come in the form of false religion with white images of Jesus Christ. They come in the form of a wicked criminal injustice system. They come in the form of media and false or fake news. They come in all sorts of forms, but if we as a people are not unified, then all of us become easy pickings for our enemies. And there is no reason why we should not unify. Now, you may not agree with everything over the years that I've said on the Community Defender Talk Show. We've been on here for about 20 years. Naturally, because you've been under different influences, some of us, you may disagree with something I say, or you may even disagree with something that your mother says. But she's still your mother, and you still should love her, and you still should have some unity with her, even if you don't agree with everything your mother or your father says, because you're family. And until we as black people view one another as family, as one people with a common and shared destiny, then and only then will we be able to free ourselves from the grip of our enemies. And understand that the U.S. government is the enemy of justice. The Louisiana state government is the enemy of justice. And the various municipalities, the various sheriff departments are the enemies of what would be just and good for not only us, but everybody else. Now, there's just such a big difference in the way that black people are treated as opposed to the way that white people are treated in America. And no matter what is done to us, we continue to join the Army. We continue to join the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines. We continue to go to Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, Niger. We continue to be stationed in Libya. We continue to put our lives on the line for a nation that wants us dead. So the question becomes, and it's by their actions, we can say that. People say, well, it's a different day. Yeah, there's a different date on the calendar, but the same racist policies of old are the same policies of now. Yes, we have more black elected officials, but when you have 3 scared people in Congress, and now you got 44 scared people in Congress, you still got a bunch of scared Negroes. And 3 scared people are going to do about the same amount for black folks as 43 scared people. If we now have black mayors that agree with the police chief when they shoot black people down, then we haven't made any progress. Yes, we got a black mayor, but if the black mayor agrees with the racist people that have oppressed us in the past, we haven't made any progress. There's been no change in policy. There's been no change in the posture of things. So this change is going to come with unity. It's unity or death. Why do I say that? The government of the United States, according to what we heard from activists, according to what has come out that has been declassified, according to what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad has said, and according to what we can look at, has nothing in store for us but the graveyard and the prison yard. That's their plan. And they need a few of us to be in the system to sell the lie to the rest of us that you can make it in America. Yes, individuals will have some material success, some media success, some musical success, some sports success, but the majority of us are marginalized, and marginalized to a significant degree. Keep in mind, the N-word was sprayed on LeBron James, one of LeBron James' homes. Oprah has had to deal with racism, being followed around in a department store. The point is that nobody can escape being black. And I'm going to get to your call in just a second. Nobody can escape being black, no matter how much money you have and no matter how much money you don't have. Being black in America costs everybody that is black. And when you look at how they handled Barack Obama and look at how prudently he attempted to manage the economy, to manage things for the country, and yet the respect or the lack of respect and disrespect and loathing of him, even as he was very statesmanlike in his representation of his ideas, yet we got this fool in office named Donald Trump, who his poll numbers are going up. So when a racist white man who complains that the system is rigged against him, imagine being a billionaire. Now keep in mind, if I have education, a white man is going to tell me, well, Daryl, didn't you get an education? Yes, I did. Well, how can you say the system is rigged against you since you make a decent salary and you got education? Well, hold on. You don't believe the system is rigged against me as a black man, but you do believe it's rigged and the media is against Donald Trump, who's a billionaire, who was a part of the media and had a reality show in the media. And for you to believe that the media is rigged against him and that the media is not rigged against black people who are broke, but is rigged against a billionaire, and a billionaire who whines about being disadvantaged. Imagine that. Here you have a billionaire white man whining about how disadvantaged he is as the president of the United States. Really? Barack Obama didn't whine, even though people were calling him the N-word, saying that, they had pictures of the White House full of watermelons with him and Michelle eating fried chicken, all the racist stuff they did. Yet Barack Obama did not come out and whine like a punk like this boy Donald Trump does. Always whining like a crybaby, an immature child. And it's clear that Barack Obama conducted himself in a much more mature way than this clown. And the average voter, the average Republican voter, you think that Donald Trump is your salvation. He actually is your punishment. And you will soon come to know that he is your punishment. He will end America, not make it great again. He will make it non-existent again. Because there was a time when the United States did not exist. That time is coming again soon. And it's all due to the wickedness, to the evil, and to the which is going to culminate in the policies of Donald Trump that's going to bring America to its end. Believe me when I tell you. Go ahead and call you on there with the Community Defender.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing awesome, sir. How about yourself?
Fine, man. I'm just listening to your program, and I just think it's great hearing a black man speak the way you speak. It's so inspiring. I think the program is wonderful. It's very educational for the kids, and I hope they're at home listening because they could learn so much and gain so much experience from this show. Because when I was coming up, I wish the show was there because, as a black man, you have to work at least 4 or 5 times harder than the white man. You go to college, you do everything they tell you. You go to college, and you keep your nose clean. You start in trouble, and you stop by the police, and you don't know if the situation will turn deadly. You go on the job interviews, even with the same college degree as the white man have, but then you understand that it's not a level playing field when it comes to the economy and jobs. So it's just a struggle. My hardest job, I feel like my hardest job is just, I tell that to my mom, my hardest job is like just being a black man, because you have so much to deal with, you have so much to worry about, and that's why I love this show so much, because the black teens and preteens, they could watch this program and learn and just gain so much from this program, and and gain a lot that I didn't have. I had to learn through the school of hard knocks. I had to go through ups and downs and stuff, and I didn't have any mentors. And
well, I'm gonna recommend something to you, brother, and this is something I'm gonna recommend to you, and I'm gonna put it on my Facebook page. Now, if you look at the way they spell my name, Daryl, D-R-Y-L, and then the word Muhammad, you can look me up on Facebook. Sometime tonight, I'm gonna post the YouTube video of Minister Farrakhan's latest lecture that he did about it right at a week ago, where he lays out everything that's going on and lays out the reason why Donald Trump is in office and why things are going as they are going. And it is absolutely due to the fact that we have not accepted the plan of God for black people. Black people are chosen by God to build the kingdom of God for his glory. But we have not accepted God nor his plan. And, this is the integrationist philosophy has not worked. And while we have been waiting for the character of the country, for the character of white people to catch up with what is moral and just and suffering the whole time, they dropped heroin on the streets in the 70s. Then came back and dropped crack in the 80s. Then came back and dropped a pure form of heroin once they invaded Afghanistan. All of these things that they've done, and then they built prisons to put you in once you got involved in the dope that they brought in. So while we were waiting for America to get better, America got worse, and her evil was more focused on us and our children. So we can sit here and allow them to destroy another generation of our children while we wait for their character to catch up with the morality of God, or we could ask for some states and say, look, man, I want a divorce. It's not about hate. It's about loving ourselves and being in America in a system of oppression. And for those of you who are, educated, and you've gotten your degree, which is cool. I mean, that's good to be educated. But you need the knowledge of self above all those other knowledges that you think you may have. Now, there's a video, I don't know if I sent it to the director, about a doctor being harassed at a pool of Dr. Colby, I think her name was. And she was being called, she was on vacation. She had her medical degree, and she was at a resort, and there was a white child that was told by her mother just to pee in the pool. And the black woman said, well, hold on, the bathroom is over here. Because her children were in the pool, and she did not want her children swimming around in the urine of some child. And they went off on her. Called her the black bee, the whole nine. So I don't know if I sent that to you. Yeah. See if you can find it, because it was only about a minute, I believe. But the bottom line of it is that you can't escape it. It's everywhere. And slaves accept whatever their master gives them. Free people demand what they know that they need. That's the difference. Go ahead and roll that video if you can, sir. Yeah, that's it.
The black nigger.
Yeah, black nigger, all that.
Black nigger. I wish you was black, bitch.
Go back in the pool.
Bye.
No.
They're leaving.
Call
Go
me
with
out of my
them.
name and you
Bye.
gonna say get back in the pool? Like, get out of here.
We didn't call them anything.
Keep calling somebody out their name. Like, I'm not worried about you. I paid just like you. You don't call me out my name. I didn't call you nothing. You were being rude. Your wife, your family, period. Goodbye. 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 That don't hurt me neither, sweetheart. That just shows your ignorance. That name don't bother me. Come on. It shows your ignorance.
The black
I'm
nigger.
just
Yeah,
waiting for
black
her to touch me.
nigger, all that.
Black nigger.
It don't bother us.
Exactly.
Come on.
We'll get all your videos.
Bye.
We
Okay,
are.
Goodbye.
And don't touch my info.
Next time, don't come to Florida.
Don't touch my niece. Don't
Get
touch
your hands
her.
off her.
Don't touch my
Get your
niece.
hands off
Don't
her.
you touch my niece.
Don't you?
Goodbye.
Bye.
That's gonna be assault.
Goodbye.
That's gonna be
We
assault.
have it on camera.
I guess I'll go to the
We have it
Bye.
on
You're drunk,
camera.
and so are you. Get out of here.
Camera.
And of course, you know, you can just look at it and see. Of course, the child knew they were wrong and went and used the restroom instead of peeing in the pool like their parents told them to do. And because the black doctor who was educated, they had a medical degree. They were educated. They did what they should do. They were educated, and then of course they were on vacation with their family. Yet she was called a black bee. This is we can't integrate with this. You just can't do it. There's no way to solve it except through divorce. Period. They're not going to treat you correctly. If they're on a jury, you're in some serious trouble. Okay? And that's just what it is. There's no way to make it. It's over with. It's a done deal. We showed you the video where a police officer told a suspect he was going to arrest who was drunk. He said, use your cell phone. She said, I'm afraid to touch it. He said, no, you're not black, are you? We only kill black people. And she says, well, I don't know. He said, well, have you ever seen a video where we kill somebody who wasn't black? We only kill black people. If you're not black, you can go ahead and use your phone. This is a police officer saying that. So the thing I'm trying to impress upon you is it's not going to get any better. The Honorable Louis Farrakhan said that last week. It's not going to get any better. And it's to show you and I that we must lose hope in the unity with our oppressor. It's not going to happen. Okay? I can't live with the Klan. We have to be in separate locations. But the mentality of America and the mentality of the Klan is the same. Period. And you either can accept it or you can reject it. You can be led by false hope or not. This is not an isolated incident. This is the norm. And so people are like, look, now that Trump is saying what he wants to say, everybody is feeling a certain way. And remember what Minister Farrakhan said. If Trump becomes your president, you're going to be just like him. And so we see this more and more and more. And it's what it is. It's just like the 40s again. You thought there was change you can believe in? Mm-mm. It's the same old business as usual. Now, recently, there have been black people just hanging out, standing up, going to Starbucks, barbecuing some chicken by the lake, and white folks called the police on them for being there. A black woman who was a Yale graduate student, got the police called on her just for being at Yale in the dorm and taking a nap. And she lived there. And the police demanded that she prove that she belonged at Yale where she was a student, but they did not question the white people that called the police on her. Nobody, in other words, if you do what you're supposed to do, and you make sure or certain that you get your education, it does not matter. You're still going to have to deal with the racist America that is not this utopian society that you wish would be. You have to deal with the reality of it. Okay? We are getting police called on us just for being black. Now I'm going to recount something else too, because we covered it a couple of years ago. There was a black couple who went out on a date. They went out on a date. They fell asleep in the car. The car was suspicious. Okay? And somebody called the police. Before the couple woke up, the car was completely surrounded with the SWAT team. Listen to what I'm saying. The minute that one of them moved and woke up, everybody just opened fire saying they feared for their life. Period. The only thing they did was park a car and sit there. And the minute one of them moved, that was provocation. Bow, 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 bow. They had never talked to the couple. They had never knocked on the window. They didn't ask any questions. They just opened fire and blew two people away with dozens of shots. Period. Point blank, bottom line. Being black and parking your car can get you the death penalty. No police officer ever talked to them. They were never instructed to put their hands up. One of them just moved while he was asleep, and both of them died. How are you going to integrate with that kind of system? You can't. You're never going to live up to your potential like that. Unity or death. Because we are not unified, they're able to pick us off one by one. Now, a black woman was in Waffle House asking for some condiments. She gets dragged down, breasts exposed, beat up in the Waffle House for asking a question. Okay? Tased, whatever. We all heard about it. Now, a white man goes in there and kills 4 people. You got a picture of this white guy? He goes into Waffle House and kills 4 people and is arrested calmly without incident. Which means that the police treat a man that murders 4 people who is white better, this is a fact, better than a woman who's asking for a plastic fork. He took 4 lives. And the person who stopped him from killing more than 4 people happened to be a black man eating in the Waffle House who happened to be an alpha. And this person just grabbed him, okay, and stop the tragedy from being worse. That's just what it is. This is what happened. And do you know that the Fox News, I don't remember them saying anything good about the person who stopped it. They really didn't give him much coverage. He really wasn't touted as a hero. But do you know that Darren Wilson, who shot Michael Brown in the back of the head, got more positive coverage than the black man who stopped the gunman in the Waffle House? He got more positive coverage and was made to look much better. Got police protection and everything. He was made to look much better in the media than the black man who grabbed the gun and took the gun from the Waffle House gunman. Unity or death, man. That's where we are today. And if you don't want to unify, don't talk about being free. You cannot say black power without first saying black unity. Black disunity is absolutely black weakness and black death, because they're going to come in and they're going to pick you off one by one, or they'll set up a system that herds all of your children from the schools straight into a pipeline all the way into the prison, which is what they've been doing. And in the prison, they breed homosexuality, which does not produce life. I was born out of a man and a woman being together. That's how you get additional black folks. When you promote homosexuality, a homosexual relationship, and this is a biological fact, does not produce life. When two men get into bed together, they can't make a baby. When two women get into bed together, they can't make a baby. So homosexuality slows our growth down in population. And when they get you in prison and you're off the street, it's hard to make a baby beyond the prison wall. So they're able to control our population to a degree simply by jailing so many millions of us. I'm just putting it out there. Plus the abortions that they're encouraging our women to have, saying that you're not going to be able to take care of the child. In other words, you don't believe God will provide. All of these things are working against us, and it's all about our unity, or it will be our absolute death. And that's what you got to understand. Now, I'm going to deal right quickly with the Cosby verdict. With the Cosby verdict. I'm going to get to the call in just a second. The Cosby verdict, okay, which is a sham verdict, okay? The first trial ended in a mistrial or a hung jury because they couldn't all agree. The second trial, they lined up, I think it was 14 women, to testify about stuff that supposedly happened 30 years ago, where some of them kept going back to Cosby's house and supposedly getting raped repeatedly and kept driving back. But before they testified, a quote-unquote psychiatrist testified about the nature of the mind of the victimized and tried to make you believe that somebody who was raped and drugged would just keep going back to that situation. I don't believe that. That was a sham verdict. But this same woman that he was convicted of assaulting told somebody else that she was about to frame a famous person. And she did. Bill Cosby. And the bottom line of it is that Bill Cosby has done more for black institutions than most of these celebrities ever will do. Bill Cosby has put his money up to help these colleges and to help black young people get an education. Bill Cosby has done a whole lot of good. And for me to believe that in a sexually promiscuous culture of Hollywood, that they can turn that around on him and have me believe it, when they are the author of lies, you say, well, it was a bunch of women. They can line up all kind of people to say the same thing. Remember, everybody in the media was just saying there were weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. Everybody, they can line people up against you all the time. That's what they do. It's no secret that everybody in an orchestra, I want you to listen to me good, plays the same tune because the same script is in front of them. And when you see all of these women line up, you already know it's a shame. They wouldn't line up like that. They would have come out 40 years ago, 30 years ago. You mean to tell me Bill Cosby squeezed you on the butt and it took you 30 years to realize you had been squeezed? Dang, 30 years ago Cosby squeezed. Really? Really? Okay? They are destroying the legacy of a man who was about to buy NBC and then control the programming of NBC such that it would give you a positive image. Huxtable was not a homosexual. Claire was not a homosexual. The children were reasonably well adjusted. She was a lawyer. He was a doctor. They don't want that image around here. They want the image of somebody with sagging pants, with a big blunt in their mouth, acting a fool. That's the image they want to put out of black people. They definitely don't want somebody going to a historically black college. It's a different world. They don't want that. And because they knew that's what he was going to put on television, they moved on him. And some of y'all fell for it, knowing that the media lies. And then Gloria Allred. Oh, Gloria. Oh, we have to stand up for these women. And some of y'all are sitting there like a fool. Let me tell you, the European women's lib movement ain't never helped black people. All it did was make you think you could rise up against the black man and not bow down to the authority that God set up for the family, and now your marriages are destroyed. And everybody is at home now, apart from each other. Man paying child support, she's over here doing something else. Everything blown all up because you got the ideas that they're from the media in your mind. It's unity or death, man. You got to realize you either go come together or you go into the graveyard. One way or another. That's where we at now. All the vaccinations. Some of y'all are still taking your little babies and allowing them to put needles in the baby when the baby's 6 weeks old. Giving them all of these rounds of vaccinations, triple, quadruple what they used to get. And then at a certain point, your child can't talk no more. It was talking, but now it can't talk. Don't you know this is targeted at black people? I mean, we got to wake up. It's unity or death. And there's already been a whistleblower in Atlanta at the Centers for Disease Control that said that they falsified the data that the vaccines work against black male children. Doctors already come forward with it. It's already out. And you and I don't want to unify? Because one person is a Methodist and one person is a Baptist and one person is a Catholic and one person is a Muslim and you don't want to unify? Really? Now that they think they've destroyed a billionaire Cosby, now they're going after Jay-Z. He's under siege now with the SEC for certain businesses. BS! Because he's worth about $880 million, almost $1 billion and growing. They want to destroy his hip-hop legacy because he just put out a positive rap album that makes you conscious. Do y'all see the plan that's going? Everybody that puts out something good that's generous, he donates his money to good causes. He's an activist. He bailed out Black Lives Matter activists who were arrested in the protest. Don't you see that they're attacking everybody that means our people any good and using their flaws to destroy them? I got flaws, but that don't mean I need to be destroyed. And Bill Cosby has flaws, but that doesn't mean he needs to be destroyed. His good far outweighs any bad that anybody could bring to him. And Gloria Allred, her real maiden name is Ehrlich, which is a Yiddish word which means honest. But then I believe she's very dishonest. Understand the attack on black people and where it comes from. Okay? And these same Zionist people are the people that are against the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. They are the same people that talked about Martin Luther King like a dog. They are the same identical persons okay, or groups of persons from the same groups, I should say, who were against Malcolm, against Elijah Muhammad, against Marcus Garvey, the whole nine. And all of that is coming down now all the way to our brother, Bill Cosby, who donated millions of dollars. And for these Uncle Toms at some of these colleges to see the media firestorm against their brother and then take back your honorary degrees, but keep the millions of dollars that he gave you, you're a hypocrite. You're a straight up hypocrite. Give back the money or keep your mouth closed. Because Bill Cosby helped a lot more people than they say he hurt. And the trial was unconstitutional because they would not allow them to put forth certain evidence, and they allowed other people who had nothing to do with the trial, nothing to do with the crime for which he was accused, to line up and make unsubstantiated hearsay claims against him. Okay? To sway the jury. And we are not that logical. Sometimes we go with the flow. We are just as stupid sometimes. And once we get back in that jury room, in that deliberation room, we go with them other people. Because we don't have a root in ourselves. Do you understand me? So when O.J. Simpson was not convicted, there was a white person on the jury. But when the white person came back there, they were like, guilty. And the other people of color had to get, and then they were able to persuade her. But she was thinking one way, and all of the other people of color were thinking another way. See, that's the way you got to be. As a juror, you got to look at that thing just like that. Because we are at war. Whether you know it or not, believe it or not, that's what it is. What's the other video we have? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and take this caller. Go ahead and call her right quick. Go ahead, caller.
I just wanted to see your what's your take on the Roseanne Barr incident that happened recently?
Okay. Well, with respect to Roseanne Barr, she made some racially inflammatory comments on Twitter. The other people at the network are acting like they're outraged. But what they're outraged at is that she exposed how they all really feel, or how the majority of them really feel. Roseanne is not really being attacked because she's a racist. She's being attacked because she's being a stupid racist that allows her racism to come out openly. Just like this, Darren Wilson, who ran behind Michael Brown, shot him in the back of the head, and later the media lied on, the police and the media lied on him and say he stole some cigars a couple of days. That was a lie. The owner never did corroborate that that was Michael Brown. But the thing about it is he got away with it. Now, had he said on video, I hate black people, he would have been fired for being honest and stupid. But you can shoot a black man, say it wasn't racism, and you're fine. Remember, the officer that said we only kill black people, they fired him. Only for being honest so they could play the role like, look, we don't agree. No, you've been working with this man for 20-something years. He's retired. What are you talking about? You mean to tell me y'all never discuss how he feels about race in 20-something years, and y'all friends, y'all drink beer together, y'all go fishing together on the lake, but yet and still you don't know why he said what he said? Hell no. Bunch of crap. So Roseanne Barr is just a person that was honest about her racism. And for being honest, you will sometimes get fired, sometimes lose your show, so on and so forth. But you can murder a black man as long as you don't admit it, and you're good. That's how it works. Go ahead, caller, you on the air with the community defender.
Well, sure, Brother Darrell. One of the things I want to, I called many times and talked about this in the age of Donald Trump. Isn't it amazing, Brother Darrell, that no one directly comes out and condemns Donald Trump on his racism? I mean, America being, let's say if you are president and you got a electorate of people who elected him, and you got a whole country to satisfy, right? And the norm would be that people would this president would conduct himself to be somewhat inclusive. Not all presidents were like that, whether they were liberal or conservative. But isn't it amazing that no one's actually condemning his blatant racism? And I don't have a problem with Donald Trump. What I have a problem with is the elected official that gives him a pass at every turn. The symbolism of him saying things and doing things, whether it's the NFL players or so forth, it's troubling. But the legislation and the policies that his cohorts, the people he put in place, have taken a chainsaw to the environmental protections on, even economic, environmental racism, medical situations that affect the poor and the needy, and especially the black community, economic situation, even rolling back of civil rights protection that some fought for, even with affirmative action in some cases that sometimes is needed. No one is condemning Donald Trump on these moves, and while we focusing on the shiny object when he says something crazy, his cohorts like Sessions, especially Jeff Sessions, is taking a chainsaw to every protection that people fought for. That's the outrage. So I don't have a problem with Donald Trump. I have a problem with the people that support him, the enablers, and they're everywhere. They're here in the state of Louisiana. I see a commercial with Jeff Landry, Brother Dara, saying that, Dr. Martin Luther King said a threat to justice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. That almost flies in the face of when he stood up and basically looked the other way on the Alton Sterling case. And he got his enablers who support him. We know he's his right-hand man at the Justice Department of the state of Louisiana from Lafayette, who was once a guest on this show, Pat McGee. So we got a lot of enablers of people like Jeff Sessions, Jeff Landry, enablers of Donald Trump. We have all these people supporting this blatant racism. No one is brave enough to open their mouth. So I'd like to get your take on that. I know I say the mouthful, brother, there. I thank you so much, man.
Well, look, I don't know if it's an issue of people lacking the courage to speak out, but what they're doing is passively agreeing. A lot of times you'll be quiet if you agree with something that's going on, and you don't necessarily want somebody to know you agree, but by keeping your mouth closed about it, you allow that policy not to be opposed. And Donald Trump is a reflection of the average American. The average American has racist views. I just believe this based upon how they vote, how things go, how the criminal injustice system works, how education works, all of that. And a study was done where starting at 5 years old, our children are suspended and disciplined for the same behavior twice as often as white children. So at 5 years old in the school system, our children are having to deal with being treated in a racist manner, a biased manner, starting at 5, when they don't even understand race most of the time. But yet they're a victim of something they haven't even grasped an understanding of. Before they can write their ABCs, they're being treated harshly by teachers as a result of the color of their skin. So that's why we need our own education system that we control. We need our own economic system that we control. And do not talk about freedom unless you want to talk about unity. Do not talk about black power if you don't want to talk about and work on black unity. As long as we're divided as a people, it's too much against us for us to be successful without being unified. We have another black mayor in Baton Rouge. Black people are still getting the short end of the stick with a black mayor at the helm. We had a black president. Michael Brown, Trayvon Martin, all shot up under Obama. Obama's sitting in the White House looking at it, powerless to do anything because the whole system is racist. So a lot of us had hope, but those of us who are wise knew that it was just something we had to see to get us to understand where America is and always will be. It will be racist. It will be racist. It will be racist. It will be racist. And, Donald Trump is going to feed America what it wants, which is blood. He's going to try to feed America Korean blood, maybe Iranian blood, but they're thirsty for blood, and maybe some black blood domestically. But blood is what the average American wants. The average American loves the fact that America bombs other countries and murders people. They like that. They feel good about that. There's a sickness in America. When they see a man being tased to death, they just love that. They love the beating of people. It's a joy. We showed you a tape where they were in Iraq and the young soldier was saying, let us shoot. And they reported something where they were lying, saying they were AK-47 when they were really cameras. And they just opened fire and was just so joyous at the fact that they had killed 18 people. I mean, they were just on a high, and we showed you the tape. That's the nature of this thing called America. It loves to kill. That's why we have all these shootings, and people just shooting for recreational purposes. Just getting online saying, I'm just going to go in, I'm going to kill everybody, many people as I can, because I just have the joy of killing. And that's what it's about. These people who went in Waffle House, the Florida shooting, the Texas shooting, the church shooting, just the joy of murder is what it's about. And that's a sickness in this country, straight up. And we can go with America, okay, and look at this. Look at the t-shirt, Born to Kill. This is what they think. This is their stuff. They're loving it, okay? So Donald Trump, that's the same mind. The mind of this person who walked in Waffle House, the mind of Donald Trump, the mind of the person in Santa Fe, all of those people think just alike. They all want blood. They all want to kill. They all are filled with hate. Just what it is. And if you go along with it, you'll go down with them. And that's just what it is. I mean, you can continue to play games with it. But even Barack Obama, after Donald Trump was elected, one of the things he said to one of his staffers was, maybe this is what people want. Maybe I was 10 or 20 years too soon. He even realized it is hopeless. And he was in the White House and said, damn, it's hopeless. There's nothing we can do. This is what people really want. Everybody wants to be a part of their own tribe. Nobody wants to unify as America. He was able to see with the election of Donald Trump that it's racist and nothing he can do. This is what he said to his staffers. There's an opinion piece that I'm going to post that piece on my Facebook page, Darrell Muhammad. You can go check it out. Hey, Barack Obama is quoted, and it's hopeless. So Barack Obama doesn't even believe in this thing anymore. And he just left office. So understand what I said, and let's understand it is unity or death. For the sake of our mutual survival, we are going to have to unify in love with one another. Not hatred for anybody, but love for ourselves in order to get over this thing and to create a future for our future generations. And that's just what we're going to have to do. It's over with. The debate about what to do is over with. Unity is what it is about. And unless we are willing to put pressure on our enemies economically, our enemies have no incentive to change. As long as they know I'm going to go to Afghanistan, as long as they know I'm going to go to Iran, if they have a war with Iran, as long as they know I'm going to be loyal to this, no matter what they do to me, there's no reason to change. And they're not going to change. You got to give them a reason by putting pressure on them. And if you give them everything that they ask for, no matter how they treat you, that's the very definition of a slave. Period. The slave was nice to master no matter how much he beat him. And that's the way we behave in this modern time. No matter how much they kick us in the butt, we put our hand over our heart for what was written by Francis Scott Key, who was a racist slave owner who wrote the national anthem's words, and we sit there like a fool and have reverence for something that is anti-black. I mean, we got to get out of slavery and unify one with the other. And that's what the Honorable Louis Farrakhan and the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the man whose picture you see, had been trying to get us to do. And you know what? Know who's going to get us to do it? Donald Trump. He's going to kick us in our behind so much. And I wanted to mention his birth anniversary, the Honorable Louis Farrakhan's birth anniversary just passed, May 11th. He made 85. And of course, Malcolm X's birth anniversary, May 19th. The Honorable Louis Farrakhan just made 85 years young. So all praise is due to Allah. We're grateful to have our brother, the man of God, in our midst. And that's how much longer do we have? 20 seconds. We have about 20 seconds. Well, you continue to tune in to the Community Defender, continue to read, study, visit my Facebook page, check out those articles and the YouTube video that I'm going to have posted. And you can link right into it and go check out what the Honorable Louis Farrakhan had to say, and then check out the quotes from Barack Obama.